Stop screwing around. Anyways, we got 2 more screwdrivers in from AliExpress. This is what it came in a padded envelope, and that's all it says. So some sort of stock keeping unit number, no model information, but I'll leave a link. So this is a milled aluminum, it looks like. Now you can see. It looks like it might be sandblasted. Although I don't know, it's very fine. I don't know what they blasted it with, but it's a very matte finish. It's not, polished or the raw CNC process. Maybe it was tumble finished or something. But you'll see here, there's a really good knurling here. It's quite grippy, of course, but it doesn't want to cut my fingers as I try to cut myself with it. So that's good. And then this is pretty smooth, and just based on how long it's spinning, I'm pretty sure there's a ball bearing in there, a dry ball bearing. Okay, and that's got some notches milled out of it, so it fits my finger pretty well, my hand I mean, pretty well, so you can do some precision screwing around there. And it looks like there's probably a neodymium magnet up in there, so let's take this bit, and yes, the magnet is strong enough to hold up the weight of this thing. It's actually pretty strong, but obviously you can remove it easily enough. So that's good that you can hang it from just the bit itself if you have a magnet bar, which I do. Okay, the other small one I reviewed in a different set of screwdrivers is this one. This one also has a bearing. I really like this one because it's so small. And yeah, overall the knurling is the knurling is closer, but still in the general range. So, but this is longer overall, as you can see, which may be good or bad for you. Alright, they're both pretty nice though, and they're both inexpensive, so that's why I got them. I'm just gonna have a different bit in this one, so you'll probably see them in some more reviews when I open up my little die-cast car models. So now this one is PEI, so that's just some sort of industrial plastic, and this is its natural color. And this one here, you can see some of the search term words if you want to try to find this somewhere else, Amazon or eBay or whatever. Okay. This is actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I should probably dimension these things, huh? Yeah, I don't know if their listing on AliExpress is going to show the dimensions, so let's zero this out. Focus. So this aluminum one is 107 millimeters or so. The knurling diameter is like 12.6. The bit diameter outside 7.6. This takes 4 millimeter bits. And then the widest part, this bearing area, is 19.2. Okay, this is also cupped. I think for the price, this is really nice. Alright, so the PEI one, the overall length of this one is like 79-ish. This grip diameter, 16.5. The actual ball bearing, 16.9. So this is quite interesting. I thought it would be nice if it had a PEI cover, but I take that back now because I didn't know it looked like this on the back. The promotional images don't actually show this side. So you first have a Torx bit, a nut or screw. I assume it's a bolt actually, but it looks like they made it. It doesn't look like a standard bolt, right? Because it's actually chamfered here on the inside, which doesn't make the greatest sense. And then we have a PEI piece of plastic here, and then you can see the bearing has a PEI carrier for the actual ceramic balls. I thought it was just going to have a cheap SKB bearing or something like that, or NMB bearing, but this looks like they may have made it themselves. It's literally a ceramic bearing. Maybe that's what's in the other ones. Oh boy, that is super smooth. It's actually got a lot of wobble in it though, so maybe that's why it didn't spin as fast as long as I thought it would. But you can see there's the wobble, right? But you'll never have to put oil in there. You'll never have to grease it. I wonder if Just the sound of that one. I wonder if those are steel bearings. The ceramic one, it just doesn't make much noise. This one's also kind of loud. Anyways, that's really neat. So this being a stainless outer race, I don't think it's going to rust very easily. And then you can see through the PEI, it's kind of cloudy. Yeah, it's definitely cloudy. And they machined away the grip area. I will say though, I feel like this grip area is too smooth. The blocks, you know, they're so big. I just don't get the, I feel like your fingers might slip with this. Compared to, you know, the knurling here. I have a hard time thinking this could possibly slip. Because the knurling's so tight. But look at the difference in the knurling, if you want to call it that, on the left side. It's quite massive. Alright, well anyways, being plastic and being cut out the way it is, I don't feel any sharp edges. I apologize for the staining of my fingers, always doing some weird stuff, staining myself. That's a joke right there. Alright, so there's a couple round recesses for styling, and that's a neodymium magnet I assumed down in there, and pleasantly it came with 2 bits. Let me get yeah, that as well, very strong. You're not going to lose that bit too easily unless you want to pull it out. So you can hang this by the bit itself, and you don't have to fear the oozing. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Look at that. And that's happened on a couple other screwdrivers I have. So yeah, you're going to want to take some epoxy and put a tiny dab in there and then push that back in. You want to do it on the bit. Well, I guess maybe it won't make a difference. Or will it? No, I guess it won't make a difference with the polarity. But I'm going to just play it safe and put it back the way it was. Alright, so that's obviously a QC issue. I mean, you would think for the price of this thing, which was pretty expensive, I think, for a screwdriver, it should have been glued in place. Unless there is glue down in there, I can't tell. Yeah, maybe there is glue, but this is a smooth surface. Gotta find the right kind of glue. I wonder if this E6000 stuff is or Gorilla Glue. I'm gonna just put a dab of Gorilla Glue in there. And this is a brand of glue I trust. I trust. But we'll have to see long term if this thing falls out. That's a pretty thick dollop. So I think it's gonna get all squished in there. Alright, so we're going to just leave that in there for now. Sorry for my sniffling, the air conditioner's blowing around my face. So just for comparison, here's an old titanium one I got a long time ago from AliExpress. I'm not sure if this is still available. This one is silent. Overall length is somewhat similar. It's a little bit shorter on the titanium. You can see the massiveness of this ball end here, or whatever, ball bearing end. And I think this unscrews, yeah. So this just has a steel race, a steel ball carrier. It's an all steel bearing, but it seems to be a pretty nice one. I think that could even be titanium in there. So, weight-wise, that might be something to be worth talking about. So this one is 20 grams. This newer one here is 35 grams. Makes sense, it's quite big. This PEI one is 19 grams. And this titanium one's going to be heavy. 63 grams. I reviewed this separately, but this one actually has a pull-out handle that you can get extra torque with. So that's a steel bar in there, so this should be heavy. 49. Nice. 49. Yeah, crazy. This thing is really, really heavy. Huh. And then this is a giant aluminum one. with the bearing back there. 71, so that comes in the most, but that's a really smooth bearing as well. This one doesn't really spin because it's got that bar in there. It's pretty rough. You can feel metal on metal scraping. This one's still spinning. Alright, well anyways, I guess it's just really just to show the different designs. I can't say which is better or worse, you know, it really depends on the size of your hand and obviously what size bits you're going to be using. These are all the larger bits, but for my model reviews I like these little 4mm bits, so that's why I have both. These I'll probably use when I work on my bicycle. Alright, anyways, so hopefully it helped you out if you you know, invest in some fancy screwdrivers. There actually are other designs, but I just don't feel a need to have a whole collection of these. But you never know, maybe if I'm bored one day and if I have some extra money, I'll have another video out there. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you the next time around.